Hello dear students, today we are going to discuss atomic structure. The objectives of the topic are to know about different theories that have been put forth to understand the structure of an atom, to gain insight about different types of subatomic particles, to understand the difference between different subatomic molecules, to understand the rules for filling of electrons in different atomic orbitals. Now a brief introduction about atoms. Atoms are the basis for everything that exists in the universe. These atoms create the elements, molecules, and the world in large. The word atom have been derived from a Greek word atomos, which means indivisible. The existence of atom was known to Greek and Indian philosophers as early as 400 BC. They were of the view that continued subdivision of matter would ultimately yield an atom. According to them, atoms were the building blocks of matter and could not be further divided. But they could not provide proof to their hypothesis that all matter is said to be composed of small particles called atoms. This was proposed by John Dalton. His theory, called Dalton's atomic theory, regarded the atom as the ultimate particle of matter. At the end of 19th century, enough experimental evidence was accumulated to show that atom is made up of still smaller particles. These subatomic particles are called fundamental particles. Although the number of subatomic particles now known is very large, the three most important among them are proton, neutron, and electron. The central part of the atom is highly dense and is called nucleus. Protons, which are positively charged particles, and neutrons, which are neutral particles, reside in the nucleus. Electrons, which are negatively charged particles, are present in the orbits around the nucleus. Now, subatomic particles. Many different kinds of subatomic particles were discovered in the 20th century. Now, discovery of electron. In mid-1980s, many scientists, mainly Faraday, began to study electrical discharge in partially evacuated tubes known as cathode ray discharge tubes. That led to the discovery of particles with negative charge called as cathode rays. Later on, it was concluded that electrons are the basic constituent of all the atoms. Now, discovery of protons and neutrons. Electrical discharge carried out in modified cathode ray tube led to the discovery of particles carrying positive charge. These were known as canal rays. Later, a need was felt for the presence of electrically neutral particle as one of the constituents of atom. These particles were discovered by Chadwick by bombarding a thin sheet of beryllium by alpha particles. When electrically neutral particles having a mass slightly greater than that of protons were emitted, he named these particles as neutrons. Now, the various atomic models. Different atomic models giving different pictures of the structure of atom have been proposed from time to time. Some of the models are discussed here. First, Thomson's model of atom. J.J. Thomson, the discoverer of electron in 1898, proposed the resin pudding model of atom. He assumed that an atom consists of uniform sphere of positive charge with electrons embedded into it in such a way as to give it a stable configuration. In this model, the atom is visualized as a pudding or cake of positive charge with resins or electrons embedded into it, hence the name resin pudding model. Thomson proposed that electrons in an atom were not at rest, but were vibrating about their equilibrium position. Now, limitations of Thomson model. Spectral lines obtained even in the simplest case could not be explained by Thomson model. Rutherford scattering experiments could not be explained by this model. The mass of electron has been found to be 1 by 1837 times that of hydrogen atom. This implied that solid spherical atom proposed by Thomson, especially in case of heavier atoms, must contain thousands of electrons, which is not possible. Now, Rutherford's model. Rutherford gave his first model in 1912. He suggested that an atom consists of central nucleus of small dimension, within which reside the positive charge and most of the mass. Outside the nucleus are electrons to make the atom neutral. But Rutherford himself realized that his model could not explain the stability of the atom. Later he then modified his own model as atomic nucleus consists of protons and enough electrons to reduce the positive charge to about half the mass number, and the remaining positive charge on the nucleus was balanced by planetary electrons. Now drawbacks of Rutherford's model. Rutherford has described the atomic model with electrons rapidly revolving around the nucleus as the planets revolve around the Sun. In other words, orbiting electrons of the Rutherford's model would continuously emit radiation and in the process would lose energy and come closer to the nucleus. Ultimately, the electron would fall into the nucleus and destroy the atom. Niels Bohr, a Danish physicist, calculated that an atom would collapse in 100 millionth of the second. This was contrary to the fact that atoms are stable. Another limitation of Rutherford's model was that it was silent about the electronic structure of the atom, that is, distribution of electrons around the nucleus and the energies associated with them. Now Bohr's model of atom. In 1913, Niels Bohr put forward a theory based on quantization of energy to improve the Rutherford's model of the structure of atom. This theory also satisfactorily explained the line spectrum of hydrogen atom. He postulated that the electrons move around the nucleus in one of the several fixed circular orbits called energy levels. These energy levels are arranged concentrically around the nucleus and are characterized by an integer n, the lowest number being given the number 1. The energy level corresponding to n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 are also known as K, L, M and shells. Electrons can move about only in certain orbits which have specific energies. Their movement is possible in only those orbits for which its angular momentum is the integral multiple of h by 2 pi. The energy level nearer to the nucleus has low energy, whereas that farthest from it has maximum energy. An electron is said to be in ground state when it moves in energy level having lowest energy. The ground state is the most stable state of the atom. The energy is emitted or absorbed when an electron moves from one level to another. Thus, by absorbing one particular quantum of energy, the electron will jump from an energy level 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, each then said to be in excited state. When an electron moves from higher energy orbit to lower energy orbit, the energy is emitted in the form of photon of frequency nu and energy h nu. The limitations of Bohr's model. It could not explain the spectra of atoms containing more than one electron. It could not be applied to even simple helium atom which has 2 electrons. It failed to account for the splitting of spectral lines in presence of magnetic field, that is Siemens effect, or an electric field, that is Stark effect. Now Bohr-Sommerfeld theory. To explain the limitations of Bohr's model, Sommerfeld extended Bohr's theory while retaining the first of Bohr's circular orbit as such. He added one elliptic orbit to Bohr's second orbit, 2 elliptical orbits to Bohr's third orbit, and so on. Although this model successfully explained fine line structure of atomic spectra and introduced the basic concept of stationary states and electronic transitions between them, yet it could not provide a satisfactory picture of the structure of atom. The structure of atom could only be fully understood by considering wave mechanical concepts. 2 important developments which contributed towards the development of model free from the limitations of Bohr's model were dual behavior of matter and Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Now, dual behavior of matter. The French physicist de Broglie in 1924 proposed that matter also exhibit dual behavior, that is, both particle and wave-like properties. This means that electrons have momentum as well as wavelength. De Broglie from this analogy gave a relation between wavelength, that's lambda, and momentum p of the material particle. Lambda is equal to h by mv or h by p, where m is the mass of the particle, v its velocity and p its momentum. Now Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Werner Heisenberg, a German physicist, in 1927 stated uncertainty principle, which is the consequence of dual behavior of matter and radiation. It states that it's impossible to determine simultaneously the exact position and exact momentum or velocity of an electron. Mathematically, it can be given as delta x into delta px is equal to h by 4 pi, or delta x into delta Vx is equal to h by 4 pi m, where delta x is uncertainty in position, delta px is uncertainty in momentum, delta Vx in velocity of the particle. If the position of electron is known with high degree of accuracy, that is delta x is small, then the velocity of the electron will be uncertain, that is delta Vx is large, and vice versa. Now, wave mechanical model of atom. Wave mechanical model of atom was proposed by Erwin Schrödinger, an Austrian physicist, in 1926. According to this model, the motion of the electron inside the atom could be described in terms of mathematical function called wave function psi. The wave functions are assumed to contain all the information about the electron and are obtained by solving a differential equation called Schrödinger's wave equation. The square of the wave equation is the measure of probability of finding an electron in three-dimensional space around the nucleus. On solving Schrödinger's wave equation for hydrogen atom, we get a number of wave functions which are characterized by three quantum numbers. First, principal quantum number, second, azimuthal quantum number, third, magnetic quantum number. These quantum numbers arise in the process of logically solving the wave equation. Every electron in an atom has a unique set of quantum numbers which help to describe the three-dimensional region where there is maximum probability of finding the electron. This region is called atomic orbital or simply orbital. Now, significance of quantum numbers. The three quantum numbers describe the size, shape, and orientation of the atomic orbitals in space. There is an additional quantum number which does not follow from the Schrödinger's wave equation but is introduced to account for electron spin. The fourth quantum number, that is spin quantum number, thus helps in designating the electrons present in an atom. Now, shapes of different atomic orbitals. Two key features for an orbital: the distribution of the electron away from the nucleus known as radial distribution, and the second is the shape of the orbital called angular distribution. The radial distribution is mostly dependent on principal quantum number. Angular distribution depends on azimuthal and magnetic quantum number. Now, s orbital. Orbitals with subshell quantum number L equal to 0 are called s orbitals. These orbitals are spherical in shape and have spherical symmetry. There can be only one s orbital or subshell for any specific mean energy level and diagrammatically portrayed as sphere centered at the origin of the three mutually perpendicular Cartesian axes. S orbital are wave functions with L equal to 0. They have angular distribution that is uniform at every angle. Now, shape of p orbitals. Orbitals with subshell quantum number L equal to 1 are called p orbitals, since the magnetic quantum number m can be -1, 0 or +1. When the value of subshell quantum number L is 1, the p orbitals comes in sets of 3. One of these orbitals is aligned along each of the three mutually perpendicular axes of the atom, which are traditionally designated as x, y, and z. The three 2p orbitals are correspondingly designated as 2px, 2py, and 2pz. A p orbital has two lobes like a dumbbell. Now, shape of d orbital. Orbitals with subshell quantum number L equal to 2 are called d orbitals, since m can be 2, -1, 0, +1 or +2. When L is 2, the d orbitals comes in sets of 5. These have the same radial function but differ in angular distribution. 4 out of 5, that is dxy, dyz, dzx and dx²y², are similar in shape. The fifth orbital, that is dz², is symmetrical around z axis. Now, shape of f orbitals. Orbitals with subshell quantum number L equal to 3 are called f orbitals. Since m can be -3, -2, -1, 0, +1, +2 or +3, when L has the value 3, f orbital comes in sets of 7. Now filling of orbitals in atom. The filling of electrons into the orbitals of different atoms takes place according to the above principle, which is based on Pauli's exclusion principle, the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity, and the relative energies of the orbitals. Now above principle. The word above means building up. The building up of orbitals means the filling up of orbitals with electrons. The principle states, in the ground state of the atom, the orbitals are filled in order of their increasing energies. In other words, electrons first occupy the lowest energy orbital available to them and enter into higher energy orbital only after the lower energy orbitals are filled. Hence, the order in which the orbitals are filled is as 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5p, 6s, and so on. Starting from top, the direction of the arrow gave the order of filling of orbitals, that is starting from right top to bottom left. Now Pauli's exclusion principle. The number of electrons to be filled in various orbitals is restricted by the exclusion principle given by Austrian scientist Wolfgang Pauli in 1926. According to this principle, no two electrons in an atom can have the same set of 4 quantum numbers. Pauli's exclusion principle can also be stated as only 2 electrons may exist in the same orbital and these electrons must have opposite spin. This means that the 2 electrons can have the same value of 3 quantum numbers, that is principal, azimuthal and magnetic quantum number, but must have the opposite spin quantum number. Now Hund's rule for maximum multiplicity. This rule deals with the filling of electrons into the orbitals belonging to the same subshell, that is orbitals of equal energy called degenerate orbitals. It states pairing of electrons in the orbitals belonging to the same subshell, that is p, d or f, does not take place until each orbital belonging to that subshell has got 1 electron each, that is, it is singly occupied. With this we come to conclusion of our lecture. Thanks for watching.